So what books have you been reading?
That have helped me. Again, the Four Agreements, the Fierce Conversations has been profound. The other one is the Five Dysfunctions of the Team. I think it's by Lancona, something like that. And that talks about hiring the right people and how the wrong person can make a huge dysfunction in a group. One of the other ones is the ones about Peter Drucker talks about getting the right people on the bus, and again, mostly about hiring and getting the right people in the positions. One of the hardest things as a leader is when you have to let somebody go. You should do that right away. Cut the dead wood immediately, because it can be so detrimental. Another one that I have found has been really good is the E-Myth Visited. It inspires you. Is like, you're good at one part, again, hiring the right people and understanding as an entrepreneur you can't do everything, that you have to get systems in place, that you have to get the right people to be doing the right jobs, and inspiring those people. You can't just be the technician and the marketing person and the accounting person. And that's one of the biggest difficulties that people, as an entrepreneur, as you're there, you have the idea, and then you start growing, is what to let go of, what to hold on to, and how to get the company to the next level.
So when you said you have to know when to let go and when to hold on to something, it seems like you have a lot of optimism in your atmosphere. So how do you decide when to be optimistic and when to decide that something's not worth waiting for and just to let go?
Wow, that one's tough. Very good question. I'm going to say, because I don't have a lot of education, in the sense that I have no college degree, that most of mine comes back to intuition. And it's a feeling of knowing that there are things that are changing. It's having the communication with everybody that I am in contact with, so I'm always kept in the loop. That there is no glass ceiling where I am, so that people know that they can approach me and tell me this and this and this is happening. So I have a really good working knowledge of how my company is being handled, because everybody's coming to the party wanting the party to go on and on and on. There is no one afraid of losing their job. They can speak freely. So a lot of that has to do with I'm kept in the loop. The idea of when to let go is when you have to know, as an entrepreneur, what your best activity is, what I call a high productive activity. Where do I make the most amount of money and the most amount of impact? And being very, very aware of where my pitfalls are. Not going through my company with the blinders, saying this, I'm good at everything. I am not. Again, it comes to admitting that. So letting those parts of your job go to the people that can handle them, and I'm always optimistic, because I look at failure as, and I failed before, but I've never even really thought it was failure. Every time something bad happens, it was a way to learn more from it. What did I learn from this? Where do I need to go? What do I have to correct, reduplicate, and shift? That's why my company has always gone like this. I mean, it's never gone down. It's kind of gone like this, but it's gone nothing but up, because every time there's something that's a disaster, it is not a disaster. You have to be flexible as a CEO. You have to be. That is the most important thing. Be flexible. Know that there's going to be turbulence along this road. Accept the turbulence. And there's another saying. It says, I can't control the wind, but I can redirect my sails. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell.
There was also a saying about failure, saying, I didn't fail, I just found 1,000 ways that don't work.
I love that. Oh my God, absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly, didn't Einstein or Edison or one of those guys came up with something like that?
The guy who invented the light bulb said he failed 10,000 times before finally making it. And without that, we wouldn't be here today.
I just got a chill when I hear things like that. The best things that had happened to me is when I screwed up the most, or when I had to go back and say I'm sorry. Very difficult for me to do, very difficult. And it's been the most cleansings of experiences, and the best things that ever happened was when I fell down flat on my face. And I never even looked at how I was falling flat on my face. I always had the cushion. I always knew it was going to bounce right back up. And that's what makes an entrepreneur an entrepreneur. is that kind of spirit that they can't kick you down, you know, kick you across the street, but you know there's another curb to jump up on and keep walking. Yeah.
Always work, but some just take a little bit longer.
Yes, right. That is so true. That's so true.
So do you believe in taking risks?
Oh God, of course. There is, you know, I was listening to something one time, and there was a shrink commenting on these crazy people talking on one of those, you know, Larry Springer shows or something. And this guy gets up and he's pounding his chest and he goes, "I'm not afraid of anything." And the shrink's going, "You know, that scares me. That should really scare you that you're not afraid of anything." And then I'm sitting back there going, "But hey, dude, I'm not as scared of anything. I'm not afraid of anything." And then I realized, looking inside myself, I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of everything that I know that once I do it, I'm not afraid. So I take risks constantly. I take risks on everything. I am not afraid of anything because I'm afraid of everything. And once you take that step and you conquer it, then you're not afraid. You're not. Because that one step further, risk, of course, you have to take the risk. I love the idea. I don't even look at it like risk. It's life. You get up in the morning, you could fall out of bed. I mean, things can happen. The idea that this is it. I mean, this is my life. This is all I have. This is not a dress rehearsal. I'm not profoundly religious at all. I really believe the biggest sin that you can possibly commit is by being aware that there's other choices out there and you don't correct those choices, you don't make them, you don't live your fullest life. I can't even admit that is what I'm afraid of. Every day I wake up and I go, oh my God, I'm 56 years old, how many more days do I have left, you know, and can I get more accomplished? Can I do more? Can I see more? Can I experience more? Can I risk more? It is so freaking exciting when you live like that. It's so exciting.
So, you said you enjoy taking risks. Are these calculated risks? How do you know when to say no and walk away from something?
Wow, that's... I used to hitchhike everywhere, and because we didn't have car, I was so poor, I didn't have a car, so I hitchhiked everywhere. And I'm bringing that up because I think of my life as like hitchhiking through life. And I knew which car not to get into. Now that doesn't abdicating that we should ever hitchhike, but sometimes when I go back and I say, what didn't I listen to when I made a mistake? It's when I'm not being authentic and my intentions are not pure. When I do something, I go, oh, I'm going to do this and everyone's going to think I'm wonderful. Or I'm going to do this and I'm going to be able to afford that Gucci purse I want or some crappy thing like that. What happens is it's not the real reason, and you found that when you go back and analyze that, why did I take that risk and was that risk the right one to take? You'll find that you need to shift around a little bit. You need to listen to that inner voice. We all have it. As women, oh my God, we so have it. It's there, and you just learn to, when the first reaction is to say no, when it's based on authenticity, I don't calculate everything. You cannot. I don't know what the weather's going to be when I go out there. I dressed for the weather. I'm sweating like crazy right now because it turned out to be hot. It happens. I can't calculate it all, but I can listen to what I know is my experience. I ask mentors for that other experience, and we guide our way through it together.